Hello, everybody. Yes, I am back. It has been almost a month since the last time I have made an episode. I believe the last episode I released was November 17th, and today's December 12th, so it's almost been a month, and I hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving over that time. And before I explain what I'm going to be talking about in this episode, I just want to clear the room of why I haven't been posting in this time in the podcast. Immediately after I released that last episode, I got sick, and with the virus that's going around, it hit me really hard, and I wasn't myself till probably the beginning of the month. And if you don't know, I am the public address announcer for the BC3 Pioneers, and we're currently in basketball season, and that really takes a toll on me. It's time consuming with my preparation for it and all that fun stuff. And yeah, that's honestly the bits and pieces of why I decided to take Thanksgiving off, that little break, and not post anything. Then I got sick, and then yeah, it hasn't been good times, but I'm back. I'm glad to be running the show on the podcast here, and yeah, with BC3, I've been getting some media attention too over that span. There's 2 articles written about me, 2 in this time frame. The one article is on bc3.edu, and the other one was in the local newspaper just right before Thanksgiving. And so, with all that being said, I think I got everything cleared up in this. So, in today's episode, we are going to be looking at we're just going to talk about how the Penguins have been playing, because, we've been on a tear since I've last made an episode. In the second segment, we'll look at the game preview between the Stars and the Penguins. And to wrap up the segment, we're going to look at the changes that are happening soon to PPG Paints Arena. So that is all coming up right after this intro.
Slap me, silly Sydney. Oh, shave my face with a rusty razor. Oh, Murphy and the fans are planted like a butcher's dog. Oh, let's go hunt moose on a Harley. Oh, scratch my back with a hat. As he beats Theodore like a rated mule. Ladies and gentlemen, you got it. Elvis has just left the building.
Alright, Yins, welcome back to this episode of the Yinzers at the Point podcast. I am your host, Tyler Aaron. Again, if you want to follow me on Instagram or Twitter, it is at TylerAaron65. Or you can follow the show's Instagram or Twitter, excuse me. Yes, I did make a official Instagram for the Yinzers at the Point. So it's Yinzers _the _point. So we officially got a podcast Instagram now, and the Twitter will still be Penguins Fan 65, or you can subscribe to us on YouTube. To all my YouTube listeners out there, thank you for listening to this. But in this first segment, we're going to be looking at how the Penguins have been playing, because it has been unreal since I last made an episode. Penguins have been playing great. Stuff in the locker room. It's been a little rough. I really wanted to make an episode entirely and talk about Chris Letang. As you saw, he had a stroke 2 weeks ago. And it's a tough time. His second one in his career. His first one was in 2014, and he was out for 2 months, and found out he had a hole in his heart. And it's hard for that, but It looks like he's okay. He just played in the game the other day against the Sabres, just 12 days after suffering that stroke. And, yeah, I can't believe he's recovered so quickly. And good on him. And I can't wait to watch him play till he retires as a Pittsburgh Penguin. But in the span since I last made an episode, the Penguins are 10-1-1. Right before my last episode, the second segment was my game preview on the Penguins Wild game. And that's when Rickard Rakell back on the first line with Crosby and Getzel. And boy, has that line shined since then. Real quickly, in Minnesota, 6-4 win. In Winnipeg, 3-0 win. Malkin's 1,000th game. Another episode I really wanted to do was just make an entire episode talking about Malkin in his career. 5-3 win over the Blackhawks. In that, Malkin comes home after his 1,000th game versus Calgary. 2-1 shootout win where he gets the game winner. Then in Philadelphia, in the reverse retros, 4-1 win. Come home and play the Maple Leafs. Right there's your regulation loss, 4-1. And then lose in overtime to the Hurricanes, 3-2 in overtime. And then, bounce back, beat the top team in the Western Conference, the Vegas Golden Knights, 4-3. Statement win over the Blues, 6-2. And about that game, I found it really hilarious of Bennington losing his mind, and then Jason Zucker over on the bench just shrugging his shoulders and like, what do you want me to do? I just scored, but like Bennington's got to get a grip. That was probably a really fun game to watch. Again, you beat Columbus 4-1, and then you have a back-to-back versus Buffalo at the home-and-home series. Beat Buffalo in overtime because Jeff Skinner lost his temper. And then big statement win the other night with a 3-1 win. And now you're looking at your road ahead. You got Dallas tonight. You're in Florida. And then in Carolina, which is honestly odd because usually every time the Penguins go to Florida, they play Tampa Bay while they're down their little Florida road trip. But that's not the case. You're in Florida, you're in Carolina, and then you're home against the Rangers and Hurricanes, and then you're at Christmas. So, what is that, 5 games till Christmas for the Penguins, 2 of them versus the Hurricanes, 1 in Carolina, 1 back in Pittsburgh. So, I mean, the road ahead for the Penguins, it's looking bright. You got the Winter Classic coming up too. Sweet jerseys by the Penguins. I probably won't be purchasing this one, but maybe a T-shirt of it. I do like the design on the Winter Classic jerseys because I guess that came out when in that time frame. But Boston's, they brought back the Meth Bear. Not a big fan of Boston's jerseys, but Pittsburgh's probably the least favorite of the 3 Winter Classic jerseys that the Penguins have had, but, it's something new, something different, and I think the Penguins did a great job of that. So, I'm going to now talk in this segment of the players and how they performed so far this year, and all that stuff. Yeah, so starting off with the first line, Sidney Crosby, absolute tear right now. Definitely one of the favorites to win the Hart Trophy. Leading the league in the NHL with 5-on-5 points, with 25, I believe is what it is. Absolutely insane. And he's 35, and everyone else in that scoring race is in their 20s. And, the only one up there is Kucherov, who's 28 or 29. So, excuse me. Just to be 35 and still producing at this pace, it's insane. Just in 28 games, 17 goals and 21 assists, 38 points. Insane. Jake Getzel, 24 games, 13 goals, 16 assists, 29 points. Again, terrific by them. And then you got Rickard Rakell finishing up that first line. And those three together, it is so fun to watch them every night, that line. I'm so glad ever since Rickard Rakell moved back up to that first line. It has been beautiful. And it just makes that trade that Ron Hextall made at the deadline that much better. And on the second line, Brian Rust is finally finding his stride just in 28 games. 7 goals, 10 assists, 17 points, but he had a big night the other night. I think it was a 4-point night for him. So definitely, getting back to his regular self. And then Jason Zucker been on a tear, 6 goals, 12 assists, 18 points everywhere on the ice. Same with Evgeny Malkin, who's third on the team in scoring in 28 games. He has 8 goals, 20 assists, 28 points. I'm glad that Malkin is taking shots on the power play. I'll talk about the power play in a little bit here, but anyway, so on to the third line here. You got Jeff Carter, Kasperi Kapanen, and Brock McGinn. Honestly, probably the worst line on the team out of all 4 lines, but Kasperi Kapanen finding his stride, thankfully. My plan for Kapanen is we had him scratched for, 10 games maybe. He's finding his stride. He had a hat trick. Let's see, who was that against? It was against the Blues. Got a hat trick in that. Got the game winner against Vegas. Finding his stride finally in just 19 games. He has 5 goals, 6 assists, 11 points. So 11 points, 19 games. Finally finding his stride, but this is good for the Penguins as he can be used as trade bait. As the $3.2 million is not looking good, and Ron Hextall is seeking a trade in that department. Jeff Carter, definitely not the answer right now in Pittsburgh. As much as I like the guy, he hasn't done much at all for that. And he's 4 goals, 10 assists, and 14 points. He got the overtime winner against the Sabres in Buffalo. I can't go hard on him too hard for that, but it's just I don't know if I guess Jeff Carter's career is winding down. This is just the best way to put it. And then Brock McGinn, the Brock star, absolutely playing good. Again, his contract's looking a whole lot better right now. 8 goals, 4 assists, 12 points. It seems like every time Rockstar scores a goal, we end up winning the game. So, good on Brock McGinn for really being a key piece to this team. And the fourth line, you got Josh Archibald, Teddy Bluger, and I can't believe I am blanking on who this is. That's right. It's Ryan Poehling. Ryan Poehling back from an upper body injury as he played the other night. 4 goals, 3 assists, 7 points in 26 games. You can't be hurting him too much here. He's only a fourth liner, but Ryan Poehling looks really good. It makes the Petrie trade a lot better, with especially how Petrie's been playing and how Poehling's been playing. Teddy Bluger, only 1 goal, 4 assists in 5 games. 1 goal, 4 assists, 5 points in 13 games. Finally got his first one the other night versus the Blue Jackets on a miscue by Elvis Merzlikins. But, it's a very small sample size, but that's all I got to say on him. Josh Archibald makes this signing look so good. 4 goals, 2 assists, 6 points in 27 games. But He is the sole enforcer on the team. Him, Jeff Petrie, lead the team in hits. Josh Archibald's number 1. Jeff Petrie's only a few hits behind him. But the physicality on this team is way better than what it was last year. And it's a really good thing about that. So now moving on over to the defensive side here. Top pairing, Marcus Pettersson, absolutely unbelievable. You know, I dissed on him earlier this year saying, hey, I want him gone. His contract is way too steep. And he's proven me wrong. It's still 0 goals, 10 points, 10 assists, 10 assists, 0 goals in 28 games. But just his defensive ability this year is absolutely insane. Chris Letang should be winning the Bill Masterton. Again, 12 days after having a stroke, he's already out there playing, and it's insane. But in that, there's just no words. I just am very ecstatic about Letang right now. But in 22 games he's played, 12 total points in that, 1 goal, 11 assists. Letang is on another level, and that's all I got to say on that. Jeff Petrie, quarterback in the power play recently, absolutely great. I hope he didn't break his wrist the other night. It does look like he should be playing in this game tonight versus the Stars. But is again the way I guess as a veteran it takes time in the season to get better. And boys, he's done that. 3 goals, 9 assists, and 12 points in 28 games. But absolutely insane on Jeff Petrie's part. Again, on the left side there, POJ having himself a great season as well. Still 0 goals, but 7 assists, 7 points in 24. His defensive ability is insane, and boy, can he skate. 2 in that. And then you got Chad Ruedel. He's only played 11 games, 1 assist for 1 point in that matter. Jan Ruda's played really well for the Penguins. That makes that signing way good. 3 goals, 3 assists, 6 points in 28 games. Again, Jan Ruda, a lot like POJ, is insane. And then you got Brian Dumoulin. Oh boy. I'm glad to get out of his contract at the end of the year, if I'm going to be honest. It seems like every time we get scored on, he's on the ice. He's the one who's making those mistakes, those costly, critical mistakes. And I really don't know what to say about this. I mean, 7 points, 0 goals, 7 assists in 28 games for Dumoulin. So, like, that 4.1, 4.4 cap, whatever it is, it's hurting the team. And definitely the Penguins could be using that cap somewhere else, maybe replacing him with Ty Smith, who's in Wilkes-Barre. And so to wrap this up, I'm going to look at the goaltending stats. Tristan Jarry, in 18 games, he's 12-3-3, 2.76 goals against average, in a save percentage of .919. Absolutely insane. Again, he had some mental struggles at some point in the year, but definitely found his stride and has playing really well. Casey DeSmith, 4-5-1, 280 goals against, but a .916 save percentage, which is consistent on where he is. I remember I dissed on Casey DeSmith a little bit too at the very beginning. I was like, hey, maybe it's time to move on from Casey DeSmith and get a new goaltender, but his consistency is unbelievable, and that his record doesn't affect on how he plays. It's unbelievable. But the Penguins in this span, you know, they're on a 5-game win streak right now, looking to make it 6 as they take on the Dallas Stars tonight, and that's a great transition over to the second segment. After this little break, we will look at the game preview between the Penguins and the Stars, and to wrap up the segment, wrap up the episode. We will look at some changes happening to PPG Paints Arena. So stay tuned for that, and I will be right back right after this break. All right, I am back here with the Yinzers at the Point podcast, and in this segment, we are going to be looking at the game preview between the Dallas Stars and the Pittsburgh Penguins tonight. Starting off with the scoring leaders. In points, Crosby leads the team with 38 points. Jason Robinson leads the Stars with 42. In goals, Crosby leads the team with 17. Jason Robertson with 23, which also leads at the top of the NHL. And then in assists, Crosby leads the team in that category as well with 21. And Roop Hintz leads that for the Stars with the same number, actually 21. Injury report for this: Dallas has no one hurt, and as far as right now, the only player is actually in the minors. It's Sam Pullen, who is out on personal leave. I'm hoping that everything is okay with him. I've talked about the Penguins in the last 5. They're on a 5-game winning streak, looking to make it 6. The Stars' last 2 games have both went to overtime, where they both come out victorious in that, beating the Red Wings on Saturday 3-2 in overtime, and beating the Senators 4-3 in overtime. And then they lost to the Maple Leafs 4-0 and the Minnesota Wild 6-5 in a shootout. And then back on December 1st, they beat the Ducks 5-0. So that's the Stars in the last 5. They're currently sitting tied for first in the Central Division at 37. And the Penguins right now are sitting tied at second in the Metropolitan Division, which is absolutely insane from a month ago being second to last in the NHL behind Columbus, or in front of Columbus, to now tied with Carolina and 7 points behind Devils for the lead. So it's going to be a fun one tonight. Again, it'll be on AT&T. Listen to it on 105.9 The X, ESPN Plus, wherever you are. But the Stars 16-7-5 total record, and they are 4-2 on the road, and then, 7-4-2 on the road. I said that and I was like, that doesn't sound right for being in December, but pretty decent on the road for the Stars. Penguins 16-8-4 record. They are 8-3-2 at home. Sports bets odds by Caesar Sportsbook. Line Pittsburgh at -125. Over under 6.5. This is the first meeting between the teams, with their final meeting being in Dallas on March 23rd. I do expect Jeff Petrie to play tonight for the Penguins. Again, a scary incident the other day against the Buffalo Sabres. But projected lines for this one for the Stars: Robertson, Hintz, and Pavelski on the first line. On the second line, Mason Marchment, Radek Faksa, and Tyler Seguin. Third line, Jamie Benn, Wyatt Johnston, and Ty Dellandrea. And then on the fourth, Joel Kiviranta, Luke Glendening, and Dennis Gurianov. And then on the defensive side, Miro Heiskanen, and Niels Lundqvist. Oh, dang, these names on the Stars are killing me. Niels Lundqvist. Never mind. I definitely can't speak today. On the second pairing, Issa Lindell, Yanni Hakanpää, Oh my God. I have no idea what's going on with me today. And then the third pairing, Ryan Suter and Colin Miller. And then Jake Ottinger should be getting the start for the Stars. And Tristan Jarry should be getting it for the Penguins as well. Jake Ottinger, 11-3-3 with 2 shutouts, goals against average of .252 and a save percentage of .915, and then for Jari, 12-3-3, one shutout, 276 goals against average, and a .919 save percentage. Projected lines for the Penguins, same as always. First line being Getzel, Crosby, and Raquel. Second line, Zucker, Malkin, Rust. Third line, McGinn, Carter, Kapanen. And the fourth line being Paling, Bluger, and Archibald. On the defensive side, I expect Chris Letang to be back up on the first pairing. So first pairing of Pedersen and Letang. Second pairing of POJ and Petrie. And your third pairing being Brian Dumoulin and Chad Jan Ruda. And then in goal, like I said, Tristan Jarry. But it's going to be a good game tonight. My prediction is I think the Penguins are going to come out and win it in this one and extend the win streak to 6 games. I'm going to go with 3-2 Pittsburgh in this one. And Jake Getzel's going to get the first one, so Jake Shakes will be half off. And then if you want to go, tickets are as low as $20 for tonight's game, powered by Vivid Seats. And it's Pride Night tonight at the Paint Can. So, again, it's going to be a fun game to watch tomorrow night, especially watching Jason Robertson play in this one. So that is going to do it for the second segment of today's episode. And to wrap up this episode, we will look at some changes happening to PPG Paints Arena. So stay tuned for that, and I will be right back after this break. All right, I am back here with the Answers at the Point podcast, and to wrap up today's episode, we are going to be looking at some changes that will be happening to PPG Paints Arena at the end of the year. Basically, the Penguins are in agreement on a $6.8 million investment into the stadium. The first big investment in 12 years. And most of that money is they're replacing the scoreboard. As of right now, the Penguins have the third smallest scoreboard in the NHL. And I guess the Penguins want to move up. Right now they are working on a deal with the SCA. And right now with their agreement, it should be at the middle of the pack, is what they say. But I'm excited to see this. It will be unfortunate to see the scoreboard go, but maybe me and a couple Penguins fans, let's raise some money and let's buy this thing. But I guess Pittsburgh Sports and the Expedition Authority just reached an agreement to get a larger scoreboard. The Pittsburgh Pirates are getting a new scoreboard. At right now, they're making their scoreboard. I think it was 42 feet where it was now, and they're pretty much taking that and they're adding 100 more feet. So that scoreboard is almost like tripling in size. As the new Pirate scoreboard should be at 142 feet, but I don't know. They haven't really came out to saying how big this new scoreboard's going to be. We do know that this scoreboard will be in the middle of the pack. The Penguins president of business operations, Kevin Ackland, said the new larger scoreboard allows for an improved fan experience projection of in-game data for our fans, including players on the ice and other player tracking such as shift time, skating speed, and shot velocity. And then he said that the new scoreboard will put us near the middle of the pack. Other newer NHL arenas have adopted these larger, more interactive scoreboards, and they've become more of an industry standard. But let me know. I'll put a poll or a Q&A down to all my Spotify listeners. What do you guys think about this new scoreboard coming to PPG Paints Arena next season? And the Penguins plan to install a new system immediately after the season ends. The SCA on Thursday approved the $6.8 million refurbishment, and with getting a bigger scoreboard, a portion of the costs will be with replacing some video technology, the sound systems through the arena, and hot water heaters and other alterations. Again, what Ackland says too, as operators of the arena, the Penguins have also invested tens of millions in ongoing capital improvements to continue to operate a world-class facility and generate economic impact and tax revenues for the city and the region. With the sound systems, I've read a separate article on it of basically it's always needs fixing, especially in the lobby area and stuff. It's been breaking down a lot, so I guess they've been tired of just fixing it. They're ripping it all out and putting brand new sound system. So I can't wait to see what that is and stuff. But that's all I got on this episode. I don't know when the next episode's going to be. I would like to hope it's Tuesday. That's my hope for it. And then I got some news with this. Is I another one of my jobs is I work for a collegiate baseball team, the Butler Bluesox, and me and I've had him on the podcast before, Joey Orsborn from the Joey Orsborn Show. He and I are co-hosting a brand new podcast called For the City Podcast. It's on everything Butler Bluesox, and he and I got talking, and we think that we're going to be recording the first episode of that on Friday. So I'm hoping that all stays true, and that's all I got on today's episode. So let's go Pens. Let's extend this win streak, and everybody have a great rest of your day.